Well, welcome to Table Talk, Declaration family. We're glad you're here. This is,
was
week 6, the last week.
This is Holy Week.
The Holy Week. This is a very good week.
It's
This
a great
is Thankful
week.
Thursday,
Yeah.
right before
So many things
Good
to talk
Friday.
about.
There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Speaking of Good Friday, come to our Good Friday service tomorrow.
Good Friday service is going to be amazing. In fact, we just finished, I think, putting some finishing touches on all the things. It'll be a different service. It'll be very reflective, obviously. It'll be, there is things to participate in. And I feel like it's going to be powerful. And so, I would love everybody to come. 6:30 tomorrow.
6:30.
Preschool will be happening. There will be a preschool environment for your preschoolers, but kids can come into the service. I will say, though, there is some imagery from Passion of the Christ that we are going to use. It's hopefully not, too much. But obviously this is Good Friday service, and so it's going to be a great service. 6:30 p.m. should be probably 75 minutes max, I think. So it'll be great.
It's going to be a good time, a good day. So come be a part of that with us. We also, this weekend there's a ton of stuff going on. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and we'll talk about last Sunday. Last Sunday, of course, like we said, was week 6. So if you missed that, go back, check it out, listen to it on the podcast, watch it on YouTube. It was a great week. It was an exciting week.
It was.
I guess Friday, a week ago, right?
It's like 2 Fridays ago now.
2 Fridays ago.
You're talking about Advanced Commitment Night?
Night. We did Advanced Commitment Night. Then that Sunday, which if you saw the sermon, you saw, you saw the video of the kids' commitment day, which was the Sunday before.
Yeah.
And so then this Sunday was Commitment Sunday, which was an exciting Sunday, but also Palm Sunday.
Yeah. It's kind of weird how all these things kind of converged, as well as even some of the scriptures that we used all throughout setting the table, because it all kind of leads up. In fact, if you were here last week, even from the 2 passages that we taught from, that's kind of where we pick up in our Palm Sunday, in our Good Friday messaging. And so it just all kind of flowed together, and, the convergence of that was cool but challenging in the sense of obviously Palm Sunday being the Sunday that we chose to do Commitment Sunday, which I felt spiritually had significance in a way. I know that maybe some might be going, wow, why did we do that on that day? But spiritually I felt like it was very significant, especially some of the things that we did with the writing on the card and bringing the card to the table, not the commitment card, but the prayer card and the name card. Yeah, and just all those things kind of coming together. And now, obviously, Holy Week. We're sitting at Thursday. There's debate. The Synoptic Gospels say that this is the night that the Last Supper took place. And so, powerful week, obviously, of remembrance and just. And
I think even thinking of the whole remembrance and stuff, that we're in this week and we've been talking about a lot about legacy and a lot about we talked about I know at Advanced Commitment Night and probably some that Sunday too. I remember we talked about when the Israelites crossed and then the Lord told them to put an altar there. Yeah, and it's an altar of remembrance, right? And just that all of these major moments.
Yeah, I always wondered what that lyric was when I was a kid. Here I raised my Ebenezer. That's what it was. It was like, I'm building this Ebenezer. I'm building this altar with these stones of remembrance for what God has done here at this moment. And so, you were talking about Joshua 3. Yeah. We spent a little time in Joshua 3. And powerful passage because it took them stepping into the water before the water would recede to give safe way, to make a way that was safe for them to pass. And just obviously hopefully here's what I got from that was I got to take a step of faith sometimes before I begin to see what God has in store. It's the same as Abram. That's why I kind of tied it back to Genesis 12. And so all of this, I'm telling you, it all just kind of comes together, right? It all feels like it fits.
Even thinking of, I feel like anytime the Lord moves, He always asks us to do something first. And it's after we move. I think a few weeks ago we talked about Abraham.
Not that it's dependent upon us.
Absolutely.
But He does invite us.
It's like that. Yeah, it's an invite. Right. That's what it is, of Him wanting us to be a part of what He's doing. And, we talked about Abraham and Isaac when the Lord wanted to bless him, but he asked for a sacrifice from Abraham,
Right.
being Isaac, which of
Right.
course didn't end up being Isaac because
Right.
God had a plan,
Right.
all that. But it's that
Which was another picture pointing to the salvation that God
Yeah.
would bring. He would bring that
sacrifice,
sacrificial lamb, if you will. And I mean, even as we look at Palm Sunday moving into Good Friday, just we know it's Passover, and at the very moment, or I won't say at the very moment, but right there within hours of the Passover lambs being slain is when Jesus would be crucified. And I don't know how many of us really start to connect all those dots, just culturally with what was happening, but also just the significance of metaphor, if you will, or not irony, but man, this is all like part of prophecy being fulfilled, and all these things are taking place in this hyperbaric chamber of just a few days, if you will, a few hours, and it's like, man, if you knew the stories growing up, if those things were passed down to you from generation to generation, as we know that they were, then when you begin to see some of these key elements taking place, you can't help but start to connect these dots, right? Yeah. Like you're seeing what's going on, and I can only imagine the depth of challenge that some of these people were dealing with in just their belief structure at that moment. I mean, we believe something based upon a story that we know took place thousands of years ago. And these people were having to, honestly, they had the better angle, right? Because they had heard about what was coming for thousands of years, and now they're looking at it, right? And so I can't help but, even still, we put ourselves in this place. We read these scriptures. We go there in our mind's eye and in our heart, and we see, all of these things taking place during the context of just a few short days. What started last Sunday, we said, was he's ushered in. They're preparing a way. They're laying down palms. They're laying down their tunics. They're laying down their robes. They're making a path for him. What's going to start with celebration, and just a few days later, it's going to end in crucifixion and execution. And so that's kind of the week that we're in right now as we move towards Good Friday, and then obviously towards Easter Sunday.
Towards Easter on Sunday. And I think, too, even, you talked a little bit, just very briefly, but you talked about the donkey that Jesus rode in on. And there was a piece right when you were talking about that I kind of noticed, and it was just that whenever Jesus told the disciples what to say, right? If you're gonna find this donkey,
the Lord needs of it. Yeah,
the Lord needs it. And you talked about a couple different scenarios, and I think whatever the scenario was, I think it doesn't matter, but it matters a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to help us, this strange, I guess, reality of God really doesn't need us, but he chooses to use us. He invites us into his narrative.
Even with all you have is a donkey.
That's right. And so obviously, I was kind of using that as in a way to say, God doesn't need that donkey, but Jesus knows that this is going to fulfill some prophecy here. And it's part of what had been prophesied 550 years earlier from Zechariah, that this is what would take place, and now here's the moment, and this is exactly what, it's not that God needed that to save the world, but God chose to use something that seemingly might be insignificant like a donkey. But here's the truth of the matter too. God doesn't need us. He doesn't need the money that he gives to us. He doesn't even need us to give it back. He tells us to. He invites us to give generously, sacrificially, even above what he's, what we turn back to him. But it's like, and I never went here. I don't think I did this. I don't think so. I don't know. Don't play the tape because it might catch me lying. But I don't think I said this. But I almost wanted to say, what if the Lord needs that? What if this moment in time God sets you up the way he did? He provided for you the way he has, because there is something he wants to do in and through you, but he wants to use you in this moment. And what if the Lord says, no, I need that? So if someone came to you and said, Shane, the Lord needs this, from you, whether it's your money, whether it's your time, whether it's whatever. What do we do with that, right? Yeah. I didn't go there, I don't think, on Sunday morning.
I don't think so.
But it's something that I was spinning on a lot as I was writing. Like, well, what if someone came to us and said, hey, everything that's in every bank account you have, the Lord needs it. What do you do?
Yep.
I mean, that's tough, right? But and honestly, culturally speaking, we don't know anything about the owner of that donkey. Yeah. We don't know what the guy had, what he didn't have. But honestly, I mean, livestock was a big part of their reality at that point. That was a big part of their livelihood. It was a big part of everything. I mean, in fact, if you look and see what even David and those people were doing in order to provide for the temple, they were bringing livestock.
Yeah.
And so obviously maybe that was even a form of currency for them, if you will. It was part of the economy of their world. And so, you can't discount these things in the sense of sacrificial offering to just in the name of the Lord. And so that's kind of where we were going with just some of the messaging for Commitment Sunday in light of the story that we're in with Palm Sunday, in light of also John chapter 6. We spent time for me, this was the encouragement layer, right? This was the, hey, listen, no matter what it is that we bring to the Lord, he can multiply it.
Yeah.
And he's
in big ways.
Yeah, I mean, our God is a God of abundance, right? And so there's not, again, he has no need for anything. He owns it all anyway. And so what if we bring what we think might be measly, right? Here's this measly a few pieces of bread, a few fish, whatever.
Just guppies, as you say.
Yeah, I was kind of joking around with that, but then all of a sudden you look up and everyone's been fed, all the men, women, and children who were not counted into the census of the number there. They're all fed. And then there's so many leftovers that there's 12 full baskets. Irony, how many disciples did Jesus have?
12, there you go.
So that's kind of cool, that all of a sudden now there's provision for those guys, if need be, if want be, to carry on for the next few days. They've got provision. And so that's just, that's the hope was now we can be encouraged in the sense of whatever it is that God is asking us to commit to him, he's going to provide for. He's going to take care of. And you're going to have enough. You're going to probably have more than enough.
Yeah.
You're going to probably find that you have leftovers, right? And it's just a matter of trusting God. We can't qualify that as, well, if you give $1, God's going to give you 5. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say that that's what blessing means, but I am going to say that you're going to look up and realize just how much God has taken care of you through so many seasons. I don't know. I mean, you probably know. You and Hannah probably been through some seasons where, there was more month than money. You were freaking out. Things were tight. You were trying to figure out how we're going to make this happen, and then all of a sudden you look up 6 months later, and you feel like you're living in this lavish luxury lifestyle, wondering how did we get here? It's not because you took another job. It's not because God just blessed you in some way, form, or fashion.
I know that you're talking about this, and actually, I don't remember how long ago it was now. Maybe 6 months ago when Hannah quit.
Yeah.
And started a whole new path of life. And
I remember.
It was one of those things where
she had a great job.
She did. She had a great job.
Yeah.
And we
I like how you said that. She had a great job.
And we just we had just recently bought a house and all these things, and then we really both felt like the Lord was pulling her into something else, and it was scary. But then it's one of those things that as scary as it was, we knew that the Lord was calling her to something. But
look at what it is now. Not even monetarily speaking, but she walked away from something that was stable and comfortable and convenient. She was confident in her ability, consistent, and then God called her into something else that was really more of a passion. And it might have got tight for a minute as you're looking at a new house and 2 new cars and not knowing that you're going to have a baby on the way soon. But then all of a sudden, now you look up and God is blessing what she's doing.
Yeah.
And not only that, but he's given her the desire of her heart because she put him first. And so I'm telling you, all that stuff matters and it means something.
Yeah, looking at it in hindsight now, it's like, why did we not do it sooner?
Right.
But also at that time, so many things we felt like the Lord was calling her to do something, and it's just like one thing after the other just started to happen. She met Emily, who's her boss now, and all these things that it was just happened. Where now, like you said, we can look up 6 months from now and be like, man, why were we even worried?
Right.
And that's because the Lord takes care of us.
So that's the hope, right? Obviously and I know, we're, however you perceive it, God's calling us to commitment. I'm calling us. I'm not. I really didn't feel. I knew that this is kind of where God was taking us, but I put myself in that too. God's calling me and Kelly to commitment. He's calling our family to commitment, along with every other family in the church. And so we're at that point, right? Of okay, God, and that's exactly what we celebrated last week. It was amazing.
It was incredible.
I've had multiple people ask me, "Well, what's happened? What's happened?" And we're not going to say what's happened just yet because we have that primary goal of 100% engagement, and so. My hope in my heart is that if you have not had a chance to participate, to engage with this, these commitment cards will be available this Sunday still at every response station that'll be at the information center in the lobby. You can actually do it right now, settingthetable.org/commit, and you can be a part of this thing that God is calling us to, that God is doing. It's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be an exciting 2 years.
Yeah.
It just so happens, like everything else right now, it's all kind of converging at the same time. Man, we've just solidified some really cool plans, and we're seeing it now in real, coming together, and there's a lot of conversations happening, and I mean, for most of us, we're going to sit around feeling like we're watching paint dry because it's going to look like nothing's happening for 6 or 7 months. But I'm telling you, there are so many things happening in the background right now.
I even think of like the land, right? I feel like we sat on that land, and then in the span of like 2 months when we went out for advanced commitment night, it was like, I mean, all cleared, and it was just crazy how much had happened in such a short amount of time.
And that's the way it's going to be. I'm telling you, like like I said, probably the next 5 or 6 months, there's so much infrastructure thing that has to take place behind the scenes on the land and not on the land.
Yeah.
But it's, obviously we're talking about the secondary goal of setting the table for multiplication. It includes the the groundbreaking and the building of phase 1 of our campus. And phase 1 though is going to be amazing. Like I firmly believe that God is going to give us a phase 1 that feels like phase 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And there's going to be so much opportunity, not just for a Sunday morning worship gathering, but
yeah, I think that's what's exciting me the most is just the amount of community thought that's went into it.
Well, and that's why I say, excitement of the solidification of some things that are starting to come together now. It's because it's taken months and months and months. Actually, it's taken years. It's taken over a year right now of just constantly going back and forth to, put exactly, okay, God, what is it that you want us to do on this first phase? Through this stringent filter, if you will, to ensure that everything that we are trying to plan is something that is multifaceted, multi-purpose. It's something that's going to be able to be utilized Monday through Saturday, and as importantly as Sunday. I mean, obviously Sunday is our primary objective in terms of just presenting the gospel, celebrating and exalting Jesus. But I still believe Monday through Saturday we exalt Jesus by opening to the community and allowing the community on that property. I mean, that's holy ground.
Yeah.
Why would we not want as many people at all times to be in the presence of the Lord or on a place that's dedicated to the Lord? And so, so we've been working hard just looking at that, saying, how can this, what we're going to do, how can it be most leveraged, obviously, for kingdom reality, but also for community blessing? And so we're just excited, man. Yeah. We're so excited about what we're seeing come together. But it will take a few months. It's going to feel like what's happening. But I promise there's like 100,000 things happening in the background. I thought I was just called to pastor. I didn't know I was going to be doing all these other things too. But it's exciting stuff. So.
Yeah.
But we will give the number. We will tell everyone the fruit of this whole last initiative, this generosity. It's going to happen May 1st. And it's going to be an incredible day.
Say May 1st is a big.
It is a big day.
Huge day.
You will not want to miss May 1st.
Speaking of May 1st, that's going to be Baptism Sunday.
Baptism.
We're doing baby dedication on that Sunday.
And baby and child dedication.
And we're doing
senior recognition Sunday.
Recognition.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of stuff that day.
We're gonna talk about what happened with setting the table.
Yep.
There seems like there's one
first
more
big
thing.
give.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, first big give. Yeah, and so and I know that we sent an email about that. I wrote a letter for our finance office that I think went out that just talked about first big give, where we're just asking everybody, man, let's launch setting the table strong. We actually opened it up.
Storehouse.
Yeah, flood the storehouse, so to say, just to begin to set the table, so to say, for what God is going to be doing in the next 2 years through this. And so it's a very, very, very exciting time. It's going to be a big, big Sunday.
It's going to be a big Sunday. If you do want to get baptized or dedicate your child or you have a senior, you can do that on declaration.org at the events page. There's all the signups, everything. So if any of that pertains to you, check that out. You can sign up there. It's going to be an awesome Sunday, a good Sunday.
And I would include our digital family in that as well, because there's no reason to say that we can't get creative and acknowledge that senior, dedicate that child or that baby right there. You can participate online, but we can be presenting that in person, and it'll be online. And so we want to invite the digital family into all those things, as well as the commitment. settingthetable.org/commit. Come be a part of this thing with us. It's an amazing, awesome thing that's happening.
And I think even, we were talking about the second part of setting the table, which is, the building and just a lot of other things. But back to, the main priority of setting the table, of just being that 100% engagement, of just seeking the kingdom. And I think even there's, we've spent the last 6 weeks in this table talk, even just talking about seeking the kingdom and chasing after Jesus first. And now here we are, we've talked about all these different things, and here we are on the Thursday before Good Friday, before Easter, and all of this stuff coming full circle to Easter is a huge, huge day, and it's really, I think Blaine knows the number. It's like, what is it, like
81%?
81% of people will come to church on Easter if invited by somebody.
Yeah.
And so it's such an opportunity for us to, just invite people. I mean, we've been setting the table for the last 6 weeks, and now we have an opportunity to really invite people to the table where 81% of them are going to say yes.
Yeah, to a simple invite. And that's the thing I also want to emphasize. Just because the Setting the Table series is over, setting the table has just begun. Like, this is who we are now.
Yep.
Like, we are called to be table setters, and so that language is become fluent to us, right? It's gonna become second nature. This summer, we're gonna go into a different series called Around the Table. It won't be like this. It will remind us of who we are, our identity as table setters, but it's going to be talking about how living in community around the table with one another, but also being inclusive to those others who might want to come to the table.
Yeah.
And so, just kind of that balance of
It's kind of that, I think Kelly, I don't remember if it was at one of the, maybe it was a Sunday, I don't remember when she talked about the vision that the Lord gave her of the whole community in a circle.
Yeah.
And then at a moment, the Lord told everyone to turn around.
Turn around.
So you're still in that community, but now you're so focused on.
You're still holding hands in that circle, but you're facing outwards instead of inwards as much. Yeah.
And I think that's where, if I'm correct, that's kind of what that is about, right?
It is.
Living in community, but also we're living in a community with the kingdom in mind, to bring the kingdom.
That eternal mindset that we were talking about. In fact, I have a video that I did not show that I'm kind of mad at myself that we skipped it for now. But we're going to bring it back, that just really emphasizes that living in, but living with eternity in mind, and just such a powerful truth of yes, of course, we're holding hands with one another.
Yeah.
We're family, but we face out because we want to always have eyes to see the way Jesus sees and heart to love the way Jesus loves and all the things. And so that's what Around the Table will be about.
Yeah.
So many things, man. We got so many things we're talking about.
I know. There's a lot.
I promise y'all, after this weekend, though, everybody's going to exhale for a minute. Well, actually, I'll just say after May 1st. After May 1st, yeah. Because then everybody's going to start, everybody's going to start doing all the senior stuff and graduations and
It's
proms.
crazy to me, too.
Proms are actually in April
I
this
have
year.
a niece who's graduating this year, and it's weird.
It's because you're old.
I know. Thanks. But, yeah, it's awesome. We're probably out of time. I haven't been watching the time at all.
I think we are.
But this has been incredible. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, it's not too late to fill out a commitment card, either in person, like Pastor John said, we'll have them at church on Sunday, or online at settingthetable.org/commit. You can do that, be a part of that, join in with the move that God's doing, and be a part of it. Be a part of this community that we're talking about, and just the camaraderie and the really
family,
the engaging first to seek the kingdom, to just, man, if we are just willing to listen to the Lord, He will do more than we can ever imagine.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
true.
think that's what our prayer is. There's a ton of people in this area and around the world, of course, that need Jesus, and so we get the opportunity to be those people to bring it to them. And so
that's right.
We love you guys. We're praying for you. Don't forget tomorrow
night,
6:30. 6:30. Come worship.
Saturday morning, by the way.
Morning. Oh yeah, Saturday morning we're doing. We're partnering
Serve
with
Opportunity, Serve the City.
YMCA. We're doing a huge egg hunt. I think they sent it out to everybody who's a member at YMCA. So there's a lot of people. I don't know how many people are signed up.
Last I heard, we had the opportunity to serve up to 600 kids or so,
Which
or
is
plus, 600
crazy.
kids plus. So there could be, with mom and dad, there's going to be a lot of people that we have the ability to serve. And obviously, we're blessed to be a blessing. So that's why we're doing it.
Absolutely.
And we want to be a part of that. We want to be engaged with our city. And so I think that starts at 7 a.m.
I think
8 a.m.
starts at 8, but I think we're getting there at 7:30 if we're serving that first. There's 4 different groups happening, so if you want to serve but you can't be there that early, that's
okay.
That's okay. You can serve at a later time.
I think you can sign up at declaration.org.
Declaration.org under the events, and you can sign up there. You can do multiple time slots if you have that availability, or just one time slot.
Yeah.
And come be a part of that. It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited about it.
Yes,
And,
I am too. It's going to be great. It's going to be
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course, obviously, the prime time thing that we're
That's
really
right.
all focused on is Sunday morning,
Yep.
9 a.m., 11 a.m. We come celebrate Resurrection Sunday. Man, it's our
Bring
entire
everyone.
reason for all the hope that we
Yeah.
have. And so it's going to be a great Sunday.
It's going to be awesome. We love you guys. We're praying for you, and we'll see you tomorrow.